Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is September 29th, 2025, and we are in the New Testament book of Luke. We're going to read chapter 20, verse 45 to 21, verse 38 today. So Jesus is going to tell us to beware the scribes. He demonstrates how they like to wear their long robes, ceremonial robes, overdressed for the occasion, to sit in the synagogue. They want the best place, which isn't the front row. It's sitting on the stage looking out saying, oh, look at me in my big fancy robe. So he's calling out the scribes, Pharisees, Sadducees, that whole class of saying, hey, you know what, they just want to be glorified themselves. They're not there to help the people, which is what they're supposed to be doing. They want to be seen. They want to devour widows' houses, so they're using their position to their advantage and to disadvantage the people. And he kind of sums that up by saying, hey, look at this widow who just walks into the temple and drops in her last two half pennies, last amount money she has, and gives it to God out of her faith, not to be seen, but out of her faith. And then Jesus predicts the destruction of the temple, which comes true in about 30, 40 years from this point, when the Romans tear down the temple in 70 A.D. And his disciples say, well, how are we going to know? And really pertinent for us today, we just had a few days ago people saying, oh, the rapture's coming, the rapture's coming. People were selling things. And Jesus says, hey, we're not going to know. People are not going to know when the end comes. When the end comes, it's there, like a thief in the night. What is our job to do as Christians? Our job is to prepare ourselves as if the end is going to come right now. So I've forgiven everyone I can think of to forgive. My faith is in Jesus. My faith is in God. My faith is in heavenly things. Material things are just material things. They're all destined for the dung heap. And again, he talks about the destruction of Jerusalem and the coming of the Son of Man, and saying, you know what, when he comes back again, we're not going to have to worry about, we're hearing rumors of wars and people are murdering people and blowing up churches and burning them down. Yes, that's signs of the end times, but that's not exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for Jesus to appear. We're going to see all kinds of things, crazy things happening. We want to ignore those and keep our focus on Jesus. Because when he comes, he's going to come. He gives us the parable of a fig tree and says, you know what, you're going to see the leaves. You're going to see it covered with leaves. And this fig tree, you're going to go up and say, oh, if it's got leaves, it's got to have fruit. When you get there, it's going to have fruit. Jesus is bringing the fruit. And he ends once again telling us that's your job, is to watch. We're not trying to predict the future. We're not trying to decipher the signs. Hey, he's coming. It can come anytime, and we want the world to be ready. I want to be ready. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to read Luke chapter 20, verse 45 to 21, 38. Then in the hearing of all the people, he said to his disciples, beware of the scribes who desire to go around in long robes, love greetings in the marketplaces, the best seats in the synagogues, and the best places at feasts, who devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. These will receive greater condemnation. And he looked up and saw the rich putting their gifts into the treasury, and he saw also a certain poor widow putting in 2 mites. So he said, truly I say to you that this poor widow has put in more than all, for all these out of their abundance have put in offerings for God. But she out of her poverty put in all the livelihood that she had. Then as some people spoke of the temple, how it was adorned with beautiful stones and donations, he said, these things which you see, the days will come in which not one stone shall be left upon another that shall not be thrown down. So they asked him, saying, Teacher, but when will all these things be? And what sign will there be when these things are about to take place? And he said, take heed that you not be deceived, for many will come in my name, saying, I am he, and the time is drawn near. Therefore do not go after them. But when you hear of wars and commotions, do not be terrified, for these things must come to pass first, but the end will not come immediately. Then he said to them, nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be great earthquakes in various places, and famines and pestilences, and there shall be a fearful sights and great signs from heaven. But before all these things they will lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and prisons. You will be brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake, but it will turn out for you as an occasion for testimony. Therefore settle in your hearts not to meditate beforehand on what you will answer, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries will not be able to contradict or resist. You will be betrayed even by parents and brothers, relatives and friends, and they will put some of you to death, and you will be hated by all for my name's sake, but not a hair of your head shall be lost. By your patience possess your souls. But when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then know that its desolation is near. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let those who are in the midst of her depart, and let not those who are in the country enter her. For these are the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe to those who are pregnant and to those who are nursing babies in those days, for there will be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people, and they will fall by the edge of the sword, and be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem will be trampled by Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles are fulfilled. And there will be signs in the sun and the moon and in the stars, and on the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them from fear and the expectation of those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Now when these things happen, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws near. Then he spoke to them a parable. Look at the fig tree and all the trees. When they are already budding, you see and know for certain that summer is now near. So you also, when you see these things happening, know that the kingdom of God is near. Assuredly I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away till all things take place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will by no means pass away. But take heed to yourselves, lest your hearts be weighed down with carousing, drunkenness, and cares of this life, and that day come on you unexpectedly. For it will come as a snare on all those who dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch therefore, and pray always, that you may be counted worthy to escape all these things that will come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. And in the daytime he was teaching in the temple, but at night he went out and stayed on the mountain called Olivet. Then early in the morning all the people came to him in the temple to hear him. May God bless the reading of his word, and may God bless you. Bye.